Right, let's go for a simple way to make our Scratch fall. As you know, we're making a platform game here, and one of the key things of a platform game is you're looking at a simulated world where you can jump and naturally you fall down. To do this, we're going to use our two variables, y and gravity. So let's look at Scratch. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to put a loop in. Now, the reason we need a loop is if I just press the green flag now, it's run through the sequence, it's set up our X and Y position, and it's told Scratch to go to that position, and then it stops. Well, that wouldn't be much of a game, so we want it to keep saying, and keep going to that X and Y position. So I go to Control, and I'm going to use what is called a forever loop. I can now take my go to XY, place it within the forever loop, and now place that there. When I now run the green flag, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's slightly glowing, and that means it's forever going round and round here. It will do our initial setting the X and Y to those positions, and then it'll keep going round. And that is a forever loop. I need to set up gravity as well. At the moment, gravity is 0. So if I go back to my data, and I'm going to take the set Y over here, drag and place it at the top, and click to change that to gravity, and I'm going to set gravity as 1. Nice and simple. The next thing I need to do is I now need to actually put in a small equation to change the position of y every time we go for a loop. Now, for those equations, I'm going to the operators. This particular one is I'm going to use the minus operator. So I drag my minus operator across. And now I'm going to go back to my data, and I'm going to put across a y and a gravity. I'm then going to take a set y2, and instead of 0 now, I can drop this in. So what we're saying here is set y to its same position minus gravity. Now, in terms of computing equations, what we're looking at there would be this. Here we go. Y will become equal to y minus 1. Remember, in computing, the equal sign doesn't mean is equal to, it means it will become equal to. So if on the first time down y is equal to 180, then y will become equal to 180 minus 1. So at the end of the line, y will then change itself from 180 to 179. And that will happen every loop. It will then go back to the top of the loop, and it will start with y equals 179 minus 1, so then it will become 178. So gradually with this equation, we will make the value of y become smaller and smaller every time Scratch loops. So let's put this into practice and see what happens. I'm now going to place that inside this loop. If I now fire off my event again, what will happen is it will set up our initial values. It will then stay in the loop. Every time it goes around the loop once, it will move the position of Scratch to the new X and Y, and then it's going to change the Y, and it's going to decrease its value by 1. And the reason it's decreasing it by 1 is because we have told gravity is equals to 1. So it's going to be y will become equal to y minus 1. And let's run this now. If you look here, you can gradually see the value of y is getting smaller each time. This is very simple falling. When it gets to this point, it no longer draws scratch going further and further down. It's got to the bottom of the screen, but you notice that Y is still going down. So what we've managed to do here is make a very, very simple gravity, but we do need to improve it somewhat, and we'll look at that in the next video. So what I would like you to do now is, once you've opened your platform code and you've clicked on your sprite 1, can you modify now to include set gravity to 1, create a forever loop, place the go to xy inside the forever loop, and then create this little equation. Remember, you need to start with the operator, then go back to the data, finally drop it in and run the thing. Away you go.